Hey guys, so I thought I would do an old school type video for you guys, and this is gonna be a tapping and scratching and sort of showing off some of my favorite Kat Von D palettes and makeup that I've been using. Somebody recently commented that they noticed a change in how I've been doing my makeup, and that is because during my hiatus from YouTube, I started getting pretty involved with discovering the best techniques and the best products for my skin color. It was almost like a hobby that I got into, trying to find what was best for me. And I've always been a Kat Von D fan, even in her non-makeup endeavors. And her skin tone is actually quite reminiscent of mine, kind of pale. So I thought I would start trying out her makeup, and I quickly found that it was some of my favorites out of all the different brands that I've found. And no, this is not a sponsored video by Kat or anybody. I just wanted to show off some of the cool things that I have acquired over the years. And I mean years, because it was probably around the same time I left that I started getting into her makeup and trying all of her stuff. And if I sound different, it's because I'm on my Zoom H4n Pro that I actually used to replace, and let me show you what happened to my old Zoom, because I have it right here. This is the original, and sadly I think somebody mishandled it. It was not me, but I had to replace it, at least to do some sorts of videos. This one still works with my 3DO, so I can still use it to record with other mics, but the entire thingy fell off, and it's a shame. I was actually trying today to set up multiple microphones so I could have the 3D or the 3DO with that Zoom working, and then this Zoom picking up the scratching and tapping. But I just realized that my new Zoom microphone did not come with an SD card, and I don't have any extras right now, so I'm just gonna try it this way, and I know it sounds a little bit more weighted on one side than the other with my talking. So please bear with me, and I'm gonna get started. And also, I'm planning on, after making this video, just doing a silent sort of tapping and scratching on the palettes as well. So, the first ever Kat Von D product that I ever received was the matte metal palette. I think it's upside down. I can't really tell because I say something on each side, so this is an eyeshadow palette, and like I said, it was one of the first that I ever got of cat stuff, and I fell in love with the colors right away. I think this palette came out in 2016 or maybe even 15. It could have been later, to be honest, but I know it's hard. I don't think you can get this one anymore. You can get a mini version of this, but this one was the big version. And if I open it up, it's got a bunch of different colors. And I can name them off. This metal is called Nebula. This metal green color is called Watt. This metal light green is called Ignite. This grayish, almost glittery color is called Tinsel. This one's one of my favorites. It's a metal pinky color, even though Kat tends to stray away from the pinks. This one's called Glitz. This light purple is called Twinkle. This darker metal purple is called Bolt. This brownish metal is called Synergy. And the last metally color is a yellow, kind of glittery color called Flash. So those are what are considered the metal, and the other colors are considered matte. And this one, Linen, is like a pure white. It's my favorite to use when I'm trying to lighten up certain areas. This is Jet. It's, I think, black, but it also almost looks like it has a tiny tint of blue. This one is a blue called Velour. This one is called Stone. It's a gray blue kind of color. This pretty green color is called moss. This purple is called ribbon. This lighter purple is called silk. This kind of peachy color is called fringe. This yellow color is called feather. This sort of brown oaky color is called oak. This kind of tan peach color is suede. And this is another one of my favorites. I even use it sometimes for concealer because my skin is so kind of like a yellowy white. It's called bone. And this very end one is called velvet. And I would do swatches, but I'm still sort of figuring out my camera. And because it's displaying backwards right now, I think I'm just gonna show off the different palettes and makeup instead of going through each one and trying them all out. Like I said, this is going to be really old school in terms of the sounds. Maybe I'll be able to flip the video in post so you can actually see it and not mirrored. And yes, I don't have very long nails right now, as usual. Because of my job, it's very hard to keep long nails and type. But in my experience, I actually like the sound of just subtle tapping. As well. So, the next Kat Von D item that I ever bought, and you probably can't read it, but it's the Shade Plus Light Contouring Kit, and it's shiny. It's got a lot of texture even on the box that I really like. So I'm gonna remove this one for right now. And back in the day of my channel, back when I first started, I got some comments about contouring my face, because back then I was really not a big makeup person. I wasn't very experienced with contouring or even how to do normal things like choosing the right foundation for my skin color. And like I said, that's a big reason why I chose Kat's products. She is pretty pale, like me, and she has a wide array of different shades for pale people. I think the one I'm using foundation-wise, which I will show after I get through my palettes, is one color darker than her completely white out foundation. But it's in neutral, because my skin is, I know you can tell by looking at my hands, there's sort of a tint of red in it, but there's also a tint of like a yellowy tan. So I thought neutral was kind of the way to go for me. And I actually went to Sephora and had a lady there match me correctly to a certain Kat foundation, but the one she matched me with actually made my face and skin look way more yellow than the rest of my body. So I don't always go with what the people at Sephora tell me to. But yeah, I've used this one quite a lot over the years. If I can get it open. So, my favorite concealer color, as you can see, is about gone. But yeah, it's got the darker for the cheeks and the nose. I rarely use the other bronzers unless I'm trying to really emphasize something a little differently. But this is the replacement palette, which means I can replace this one easily. I actually have one that I haven't put in here yet, because I'm trying to use this to the fullest. But yeah, I really like her stuff. And all of her makeup is vegan, even though I'm not a vegan. I really don't like using makeup that's been tested on animals. I think that's very cruel, and all of the materials are also just vegan in general. The names of the different colors are lucid, lyric, levitation, somber, shadow play, and subconscious. So that's the contour kit. I don't exclusively use Kat Von D, but she is definitely my most used makeup kits. So this is Locket Powder Foundation in Light 42. And I use this sometimes when I'm trying to actually conceal certain parts of my makeup. I find if I use too much, it gets a little heavy. But my routine usually uses a liquid foundation of the same color in Light 42, and then some concealer and a setting powder that I believe is Laura Mercier. I've never tried Kat's setting powder, but I'm not against trying it. So, it's a very light color. It's about the same, maybe a little more yellow, but it's a neutral as my skin. So, it's hard for me to show how well makeups work on me because I'm so pale. But it's a nice sort of cover-up powder too. If you just need to go to the bathroom and powder your nose. I think the next palette I will show is one of my favorites. This just came out not too long ago. And this is her Saint and Sinner eyeshadow palette. It's a cathedral style box, and it's super cool to me. Open it like doors to the cathedral. Even though what's weird are these mirrors. They don't really do much because you can't really use them. But it's so textured. I also own her Saint and Sinner fragrances. And there's some of my favorites. I should one day do a video showing off the perfumes that I own, because that's also something that I like to collect, are perfumes. But anyway, if we open it up, there's a ton of colors, and none of them are an actual pink. This one, Rapture, is kind of a metallic-y dark pink, but she likes to stay away from pinks, and I kind of like that. I tend to like her orangey neutrals, and to be honest, I don't use much blue because I'm so pale. It looks strange, but I like to mess around sometimes with the types of colors I use. My two favorite colors of this whole thing are ashes, and I use crucifix a lot, and also, I guess, sanctuary. I mean, I use them all. I try to experiment. I like the greens too, which I think that's immaculate. I'm reading these upside down, so. But this white one is really nice for when you're really trying to make your eye pop. Like, in the corners, it's really pigmented and shiny, actually. So you can actually even use it if you're really pale as an alternative to a highlighter in some areas. But I'm still not that great with makeup, so I wouldn't take any advice from me on doing it. And if you hear any weird noises in the background, I think my dogs are sleeping in the same room, and they snore. So, the next eyeshadow palette, and yes, I'm sure you're like, why does one person need all of these eyeshadow palettes? Well, I love trying different colors, and I'm also a collector, and I had to have this palette, and I don't know if you guys recognize who this is just by the eyes, but it's divine. This was one of John Waters', if you know who that is, muses, and Divine starred in many different movies. Some of my favorite movies, like Pink Flamingos, Female Trouble. They were also, he was also in Hairspray. I'm drawing a blank, but I have almost all of John Waters' movies, at least with Divine, and it's just awesome that Kat made a palette based on Divine. And the names of the colors are Babs, Hard Magic, Baltimore, Waters, Filthy, Pink Flamingos, Female Trouble, and Hairspray. And they're really awesome colors. Female Trouble is another white that I really like. My dog is snoring. I never get any sort of time to just make a video without interruptions. But anyway, Babs is a kind of shiny, like yellow color. Hard Magic is another deep blue color. Baltimore is a metal blue. Waters is a light blue, which I said I would never, like, I rarely use blues, but this color is so pretty, I could probably try it. Filthy is a bluish dark gray, shiny, metallic color. Pink Flamingos is actually green because Divine's look in Pink Flamingos consisted of a green eyeshadow. And then Hairspray is a very shiny, light, silvery color. But yeah, I sort of bought this more so as a collector's item because I love anything John Waters and Divine. So having this palette is pretty cool. And the last eyeshadow palette that I have of Kat's is her newest 10-year anniversary eyeshadow palette. And if you don't know Kat, she is a tattoo artist, first and foremost, but she is a very talented just artist in general. She makes a lot of beautiful ink and pencil drawings that are just really amazing to me. I'm really kind of jealous of her talent. I've always almost tried, like, aspired to be sort of like her. She has this dark aesthetic that I also have, in a way. I don't think I'm as dark as she is, but she just got married actually yesterday, and her wedding pictures are pretty amazing. I did a Halloween thing last year where I dressed up as Lydia from Beetlejuice, but wedding Lydia, because Beetlejuice is like my favorite movie since I was a baby. I grew up on Beetlejuice. I think I spoke about this in an Obsessions video, but Kat's wedding dress really reminded me of Lydia's red gown in Beetlejuice. I don't know if that's what she was going for, but that's what it reminded me of. And that's not like dissing her in any way, because I really love Lydia's red wedding gown at the end of Beetlejuice. This palette actually has a nice texture to it. And it's gold to celebrate 10 years of Kat Von D beauty. And she drew this picture. All of the rock star people go and get their tattoos from her because she's one of the best in realistic tattooing. But I'll show you guys some of the colors. This one is really pretty. Some of them look like they're repeats, but it's hard to show the differences between palettes. Because this one is like the mossy color I like, but it's lighter, and I like that. This one is probably one of my favorites. It's this very strange, almost holographic color. It's got brown and an overlay of green in it. It's very pretty. And then they look pinkish, but they're really not. They're more so tan or orangey, peachy, I guess you would call it. But yeah, I felt like I needed to buy this one because everybody was raving about it. And because it was her 10-year anniversary, she, I think, put a really hardcore amount of work into not only the design of this, but the ingredients or the formulas in this one, because it's very highly pigmented. Not to say that her other ones aren't, but this one just looks really pretty. There's no, what is it called? When when you use it and it kind of gets all over your face after a while, there's none of that. As you can see, I am not a very highly trained makeup person, so I'm gonna go through some more stuff. This I just got, actually, because I was noticing that I still, after concealer and everything, have a lot of dark under my eyes. And this is what's called a brightening powder. And for fair-skinned people like me, the best color correcting color for under eyes, especially when you have dark under eyes, is a pinky peach color, and this one's called Petal. And I noticed right away after using it that it definitely does improve the look of my under eye area. So I'm just sort of trying things out still, just to see what works best. I don't want to look like a pancake face, so I try to keep it light as possible. But I also realize that I do have these dark parts that I would like to lighten up. So I'm happy I got this. I think it was on sale actually I bought this through her website itself, not Sephora, because they weren't in my color. I'm sorry for the editing. I keep having to wake my dog up because she's snoring. So that's the brightening powder. Here is the liquid foundation that I use. It's called Locket Foundation. And it's liquid. And again, I use Light 42 Neutral. And I really love it. You don't need much to cover your face at all. These things last a very long time. Now, I probably would never do an ASMR makeup actual tutorial because I'm so shy. But I think this color fits well with my skin. It's a neutral, so it's not too yellow or too red, pink. And actually, I may not make a video of just tapping because my nails are having such a hard time tapping today. I'm thinking of actually, for the first time in my life, getting my nails done, but to a natural level. I don't want really long nails. I just cannot seem to grow them out very successfully. They are super brittle, so actually I'm gonna do this one. Maybe just trying out a poly gel or something and seeing how that goes. Anyway, this is my Kat Von D Locket Concealer, and it's in neutral L1, which is the one right before or right after Whiteout. She actually has a concealer that is pure white for the incredibly fair-skinned, I guess, or the people who want to wear gothy makeup. But that is way too light on my skin, so I use the one right above it, and it seems to work pretty well for me. And now I also got super into her lipsticks. More so her liquid everlasting lipsticks, but for her 10-year anniversary, I bought her, I guess, signature color of Santa Sangre, which is the color she, I guess, is often seen using. I can even open it. It's a very bright red, so I don't wear it very often. And I'm not a huge fan of cream lipsticks because they get all over my face when I'm trying to eat or drink. I really like the stuff that is like everlasting or has a kiss test, which means it doesn't rub off as much. To be honest, I love the way her studded kiss lipsticks look like in their containers. They're so textured. That alone would be a good ASMR video, probably. But yeah, this is the only studded kiss that I own, and it's the 10-year. That's why it's gold. But I have a ton of her everlasting liquid shades that I'm just gonna sort of lay out here. Now, my favorites of these that I have is this one, which is Lolita, which is actually one of her most popular shades. I wear it a lot in the fall, and it's actually the color I wore in my last face video where you could see my face. But on an average day, if I'm just going out to do shopping or whatnot, I use this color, which is called Lovesick. And the reason I use this color the most is because my lips are naturally a pinkish color, and so all the nude colors that you buy don't really fit with my face. This is what I would consider more so matching my normal lip color. So I love using it because it looks a little more natural than some of these others. But those are my two favorites. If I'm going for a little bit brighter than my normal lip color, well, it's actually a little darker, but it's this one's called Mother, and it's one of my favorites as well. It all depends on my mood, to be honest. Now this one I did buy, but I never use it, and that's because the swatching that I saw online showed it looking different than what it actually looks like in real life. It is way too pale for a pale person like me. I mean, I guess I could use it if I'm trying to be creepy goth. but I can actually mix this though with some of the other colors that I do like this one. And I can get a nice-ish sort of shade. But yeah, I don't typically use this one that much. And that one is called Requiem. This one too is a little too bright for my skin color, but I will mix it with Lovesick because they are very similar colors to me. It's a little brighter, and I'll get a nice color. It's Melancholia. I tend to like the more mauve-y colors. This one's Armageddon, which is really bright, but I do like using it. But I always like to mix and match with my lipsticks because I kind of have a smaller upper lip, so I like to use darker shades on my upper lip, and I overline them now just so it looks a little more defined, but you can't really overline easily with light shades of color, at least for me. So the darker it is on top, the better it looks. So these are my darker colors that I like for more formal things. This one is Miss Argentina. It's a very bright, well, darkish mauve, and I think it's so pretty when I'm going out, like, dressed up. I don't like wearing really red lipsticks unless I'm going somewhere special, but this one is actually the same color as this one, but in the Everlasting lipstick. And the reason that I like this one, I can actually even show probably with just a little test once it dries. They definitely do not smear as much. I'm not gonna say it doesn't smear like at all, but you can eat and drink without smearing it all over your face. You can kiss somebody without getting it all over their face, which is a plus for some guys, I'm sure. It takes about 3 to 5 minutes for that to completely dry. And this one is when I'm feeling a little darker than usual. Usually when I'm going for a more gothy look. And it's called Exorcism, of course. But I still really like it. Exorcism plus these make a really amazing, like, dark cherry look. It's super cool. So I'm still kind of experimenting with my choice of lip colors. But years back, I purchased another thing that was on sale, and I just smeared that test sample all over my thumb. Oh no. But anyway, here's that red spot. I did sort of smear it a little bit before it got completely dry, but if you touch it, it's not really any rub off. And that's the kind of lipstick that I like. It doesn't dry or make your lips feel tight, and it really takes a while to rub off even with the makeup remover, which is what I'm using right now. But compared to the creams that smear all over the place, I prefer them. Now this was a special thing they had on Sephora and on her site, I think, years back. I think it was 2015, 2016, again, I don't really remember. But it's a case that I thought was super cool of everlasting lip colors, and these are all colors that I do not own, except I did find out that I purchased an extra mother, because I forgot that this kit actually had mother in it. But I love this kit. It's all like different kinds of pinks all the way through like orangey colors. I don't think I would ever wear a color that's like this, orange, but who knows? These lighter colors, probably not. But you get special, like, this one's Damned, which is a really dark brown looking color. I thought it was super cool. And I got it on sale back then, because this set used to go for $200. And I got it on sale for like $130. They don't make these anymore. She does have, I mean, they make the colors, but they don't make this kit. She does have a new sort of box like this, but with lip liners. And to be honest, I have not ever tried her lip liners. I've always wanted to. So maybe I will first try one of her lip liners and see if I like them. Maybe eventually, if it's still on the market, when I save up enough money, I may purchase that little case as well. That's one thing I really like about her stuff. She really goes all out on making her cases pretty cool. But yeah, this is gonna be a long video, but I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry if the sounds were not as great, because I'm not using my 3DO, or really I should have been using my Rollins if they even still work. I haven't tried them for as long as I've been away, but they used to make the best binaural sounds in my opinion. Or not binaural, but they were nice to get the separate ear-to-ear sounds. So I hope this was somewhat interesting. I always like watching makeup ASMR. There's one of my favorite. This is gonna be actually pretty reminiscent of her style. One of my favorite ASMR artists, and you guys should check it out, is Tingle Fix ASMR. During my long hiatus and depression, I would watch her videos, and she would always have these amazing makeup haul videos. Like, she would go to Sephora or Ulta, and she would show off all of her palettes. And I mean, I know makeup is expensive, but everybody has their own, loves in life and what they like to collect. And so I really loved her stuff, just showing all the different stuff that she would get on sale. I have so many rewards points, but I guess I'm saving up on Sephora for something really good. But yeah, I mean, if you've never tried cat stuff and you're sort of even fair-skinned, I would say, check it out, because a lot of fair-skinned people use her products. I mean, Kat herself is fair-skinned, so she knows what works for the fair-skinned types. It was so hard for me as such a pale person to find a good enough makeup that would fit my skin without making it look too yellow, too red. And I think hers really did do the trick finally. So if you're like me and you're kind of like deathly pale, check it out. You may actually find something you like. So I think I'm gonna end this very long video now. I hope you enjoyed it somewhat. I know the guys are probably bored out of their mind unless they're into makeup, which is totally cool. So, have a good week, guys, and thanks for watching.